Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to predict if a CEO is about to start their I've resigned for personal reasons tour. Today we're slicing into Dominion Energy's latest filing, and let me tell you, it's a peek into their second quarter of 2025 and how they're doing financially. Alright, let's dive into what Dominion Energy has put out there. This document is a current report, basically telling everyone what's going on right now. It's filed on August 1st, 2025, and it's all about their financial condition and results of operations. Think of it as a snapshot of how the company is performing in the recent past. We're talking about Dominion Energy, a big name in the energy sector. They're incorporated in Virginia and trade on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol D. It's a company that powers a lot of homes and businesses, so understanding their financial health is pretty important to a lot of people, including investors and everyday consumers. The main event here is an announcement about their earnings. Dominion Energy put out a press release on August 1st, 2025, giving us their preliminary unaudited results for the 3 months that ended on June 30th, 2025. This is essentially their second quarter performance report. They're giving us a look at the numbers before they're fully finalized, but it's what the market will be reacting to. This press release is the key piece of information in this filing. It's where we get the details about their financial performance for the second quarter. Since this is an 8K filing, which is for current events, this press release is the primary driver of the report. Now, normally these filings would give us detailed tables with revenues, profits, and all sorts of financial jargon, but what we have here is less of a deep dive into specific numbers, and more of a notification that they have released those numbers. Think of it as the company saying, hey, we put out the info you need to know about our earnings. Go check our press release for the juicy details. So what does this mean without the specific numbers here? Well, it means Dominion Energy is proactively sharing its performance. When a company issues preliminary earnings, it's often to manage expectations and communicate key financial highlights. For investors, this is crucial. It tells them if the company is hitting its targets or falling short. If Dominion Energy announced strong earnings, it would likely boost investor confidence and potentially the stock price. If the results were weaker than expected, it could have the opposite effect. We need to look at that press release to understand the actual story behind these preliminary figures. For Dominion Energy specifically, they are a utility company, which means their business is generally stable but also subject to significant regulation and capital investment needs. Changes in energy demand, fuel costs, and regulatory approvals for new projects can all impact their financial stability. This report, even just announcing the release of earnings, signals a period where investors will be scrutinizing how well they manage their operations and projects during the quarter. In the world of energy, companies like Dominion are constantly balancing the need to invest in infrastructure, whether it's grids, renewable energy sources, or traditional power generation, with the need to deliver consistent returns to shareholders. This report is a checkpoint on that balancing act. It tells us whether they are successfully navigating the complex landscape of energy production, distribution, and the ever-growing demand for cleaner energy sources. Their stock, which is common stock traded on the New York Stock Exchange, will be very sensitive to these earnings reports. The price of D shares, as they're known, will likely move based on how these preliminary results compare to what analysts and investors were predicting. That's the essence of the stock market reacting to new information, and these earnings announcements are a big piece of that information flow. So while this 8K doesn't give us the nitty-gritty financial tables we might see in a full quarterly report, it tells us that Dominion Energy has just released its second quarter earnings and is making them public. The real analysis, as always, comes from digging into that press release itself to see if the performance reflected growth, stability, or challenges. Overall, what this filing really does is alert the market that Dominion Energy has provided an update on its financial standing. It's a signal to pay close attention to their latest performance figures, which will in turn influence investor decisions and the company's valuation. The energy sector is always evolving, and understanding how Dominion Energy is performing quarter by quarter is key to understanding its place in that dynamic market. So Dominion Energy, like any major company, is always under the microscope. Their ability to generate steady earnings, manage massive infrastructure projects, and adapt to the shifting energy landscape is paramount. This filing is just one piece of that ongoing story, a signal that a new chapter of data has been released for us to analyze. Alright, that's our quick look at Dominion Energy's latest filing. We know they've released their preliminary second quarter earnings. Now the real work begins to dissect those numbers from the press release. What's your take on what this means for Dominion Energy? Are you invested or considering it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If this breakdown was helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more deep dives into corporate filings. And don't forget to check out our Discord community, linked in the description for more discussions. Thanks for watching and see you next time on Corporate Decoder.